Hi, this is Christina on releasing for a better life or releasing for the law of attraction, whatever you need to call it, whatever it needs to be in your life. So, welcome. Today's going to be a little different. I know normally this is like a journal, and I talk about what I've been releasing and the messages I've been getting back. But today I decided to talk about some of the comments I got. And the reason why I want to do this today is because, one, I've gotten some amazing comments. And two, because I think it's important to discuss some of what's being asked and talked about out there. And some of even the emails I've gotten, they're exciting. So let's just get to this. First, we want to talk about, first I want to say, look, I'm outside. It is one of the first beautiful days we've had in my area. I live in such a hot part of the country, and we've waited 4 long months for this. So I thought I'd come out and enjoy this. You can see the beautiful mountains behind me. Anyway, gosh, I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, I almost look like I'm in a postcard, huh? But this is real. So anyway, let's talk about the first thing that comes up. The first thing that people ask me a lot about is the law of attraction. Is this the law of attraction? Are we working on the law of attraction? Of course, we're always working on the law of attraction. My initial interest in everything was the law of attraction. And I am trying to create things just like everybody else. I have used some law of attraction in the past and had incredible experience and incredible success. And other things I've had no success. And so I have been working on this program, and if you know this program, you know very well what it's about. It's about releasing everything you're working on, good and bad, and getting messages back from your God or whoever you want it to be, and using those messages to change or improve or let go of, and or even disagree. That's something I don't know much, but you can disagree with some of the messages you're getting. Maybe, you want to see if it was a misunderstanding or it was an emotional time. I mean, it's not unusual for me to see emotional things happen or to have emotions in my life and release things, and maybe I released it wrong. Maybe I didn't, and the messages I got back made no sense, or I didn't feel like they were appropriate for what I was doing. Not uncommon. So is this the law of attraction? Of course. We're all trying to build and create and have better things in our lives. Of course, this is the law of attraction. Can I give you the rules to the law of attraction? I can give you some that I know. I can give you the ones that I've used in the past. Unfortunately, they all vary on how they worked and the success of them. I know there's some general rules, and it is most will tell you it's a law, but there are tons and tons and tons of groups out there that have rules about the law of attraction and have instructions on how to use the law of attraction. All of them are the same but vary a little bit, and I think you could choose any of those. Find one that you're comfortable, that resonates within you, that you think you can do, and use this program with it. I will say the only thing that I have learned about the law of attraction that I don't think is discussed much is that it's a lot of work. It is not a simple overnight thing. It is actually a change of who you are. And that's why this program, this thing that I do, works so well, because it allows you to work on a side of you that maybe most law of attraction programs don't. They'll tell you to release, they'll tell you to love the good and the bad, but they don't talk about how to let it go and how to actually maybe change some of it, maybe the things you need to change. So that's where this one works really well, and I would, recommend it. So yes, it is the law of attraction, but it is not just the law of attraction. This is good for anybody who just wants to live a better life. Like I told you, I in the past have had a pretty high anxiety level. I mean, it's years of being in a stressful job and having stressful relationships, being a single mother for years. Of course, I'm going to have anxiety. And I was raised around anxiety. I mean, my parents were both kind of anxious people, and they had their reasons to be too. So it's a technique that I learned. And so, if nothing else, if I never got all my final dreams, to live my life now, sleeping again and not having anxiety is amazing. And to be able to go to work and not feel stressed, because I've mentioned other videos, every day before I go to work, I release work and just say, I give it to you. This is what I'm letting go of before any anger or anticipation or anything I feel about work, I release before I go. And I will always have a great shift at work, always with it. Since I've been doing this and since I've been releasing work every time, I always have a great shift, always. Even if it was tough, even if it was busy, it's always been great. And I think that's my attitude. It's just changed. I've changed since I've been doing this. So for no other reason that I have this anxiety is down and that I can actually love my job again and I can actually see success. And one thing I will point out that this one focuses on a lot more if you are working on the law of attraction is that it talks, I want you to have small successes as much as big successes. And I do know now that multiple small successes lead to bigger successes. And like I can tell you that, work used to be so tough on me. It used to have so much anxiety and I used to come home with so many problems that I couldn't function. And now that I'm releasing work, I'm finding that, releasing these small thing work every day. And then when I come home from work, I release again so that I don't bring work to home. Home is home. I'm able to achieve so much more at home. I mean, I'm sleeping again. I'm getting a lot of stuff done on my days off. I find that no matter what happened, I just let it go. And I'm able to I love to just be home with my kids and my husband. Sometimes we'll bake. Sometimes we just, go like today to a beautiful park. So it's been tremendous in that way. So yes, use it for the law of attraction, use it for a better life, use it for whatever you need to use it for because it's great. Sorry about that. So the other piece I've been asked is, how do you know God is God and how do you know God is messages? God's giving you messages. Well, here's something I want to talk about with that. How do you know it's God? Well, because you have gotten a relationship with your God. So that's the biggest piece of this. And you may not have an instant relationship with God. You may not even understand your God. But if you, like I told you, for me, just being able to release and let the term God be part of my life opened up a whole new world because God had been something different for me. So I found God just by letting myself use the term God. God is God. So, I couldn't tell you I knew God in the beginning, but I can say I know my God now. I know my God fully. So you find your God. And I will say, if you don't have a God, just being able to say something like God that resonates within you. I know one man say, well, I have to always say Buddha. Great. Do you feel comfortable with that? Do you feel like that's a God that you're going to get messages from? Perfect. And and I have the friend that says Mother Earth. I have a friend that says will only say universe. Terrific. Use it. If you get messages back and it works, have at it. That's perfect. That really is all you need to do. And the messages, well, those again are up to you. How open you're going to be, are you going to look for them? I mean, if you're expecting God to throw down a lightning bolt in front of you and give you the message, you're probably never going to receive anything. But if you're open, truly open to messages and tell yourself, I'm going to be open to messages wherever they come, you're going to be surprised how many you get. And the more you're open to them, the more you'll get. They will continue to come and you'll become more in tune with them and you'll be in tune with how to make them happen. For instance, my husband and I developed a saying amongst ourselves, like a little prayer that we do. It's actually these little affirmations or a little prayer. And this little prayer we do every time we see certain numbers. And we don't actually intentionally look for the numbers just come. But when we see them, we say this little prayer and magically, or this, it's a prayer, but whatever. Anyway, so we say this out loud, we say it to each other. It actually has been growing over time. Every time we think of something else we need to add into it, and we do. And, it brings an instant release, that's great. You just feel like things are better. And as a matter of fact, I was out the other day and I saw a friend and she said, what is going on with you? She said, over like the past 2 weeks, you're like a different person. You're so more beautiful and more excited and things are really changing. And I really believe it's just those affirmations that I'm saying. They're affirmations that we're working on in life and what we're growing and changing and doing. And so that's all we needed to do. All right, the last big question I get all the time is, am I afraid of speaking to the universe? Am I afraid of speaking to God? Am I afraid of getting into that kind of supernatural world? Well, I don't see it as supernatural. And no, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid at all. And I don't think anybody should be afraid. You know, I think people think of this as like witchcraft. And if you do and you're comfortable with that, great. But I see this as no different than a prayer. And yes, you're getting messages back, and I'm not afraid of those messages. I can't make you not be afraid, but I can say I'm not afraid. And anybody that I've encouraged to do this and they're doing it and having the successes, nobody talks about being afraid. They talk about being very excited and feel very positive on the messages, very positive about what's happening. So I don't think anybody should ever feel afraid. But that's me. I never feel afraid. I don't feel like I'm tapping into a supernatural world that I could be in trouble. And as a matter of fact, when I am doing this releasing, I feel like I'm releasing to my God, which I feel incredibly safe with. I feel safe with my God, my angels, my universe. I feel like they want nothing but the best for me. And I can't believe that if you truly feel like you have a great conversation with your God, that they would want anything bad for you either. Then one last little piece, I've had some people ask me why I don't talk about anything real biblical when I'm talking about God. I don't mention the Bible. I don't mention, and it's not that I don't know of these things. I told you my father is actually a minister, and we did talk about religion a lot, and he did actually know the Bible quite well, and I don't, just because I don't. That part isn't important to me. My relationship with God is what's important. I do actually see some things in the Bible that are great, and I see a lot of people mention those, and they make a lot of sense. It's just not something I've felt like I needed to do. I'm not saying maybe in the future it won't come up, but right now I just haven't felt a need to. Anyway, I hope some of this has been great and that I've answered some questions. Please keep them coming, and always know I am okay if you disagree with me. I am okay whatever you write. I do not judge or criticize for any of it. You can hate it and tell me that this is the worst thing, or you can tell me you love it, or anywhere in between. I love all the comments, and I learn from everything, and I actually appreciate it all. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing great, and I will see you next time.